And here we go. Just yesterday, I said that I wanted everybody's email addresses because our days on the internet and YouTube and Facebook was going to be limited. Well, here we are. Thank you for tuning into Hard News TV4. I'm your host, Terry Lynn, and this is the channel where truth is like archaeology, and every day we're digging for it. Today is January 8th, 2021. This article is from yesterday. YouTube announces new strike policy, punishing channels posting false claims. And we see how liberal these fact checkers are, and they only let Democrat ideology stand and not truth people's work stand. But let's look at this. In light of the pro-Trump mob that breached the U.S. Capitol on Wednesday as the joint congressional session to certify the Electoral College's votes, clearing the way for President-elect Joe Biden's inauguration on January 20th, YouTube has announced that a new policy doling out strikes to channels posting new videos that violate the platform's policies with false claims beginning Thursday. So we're not going to be able to question any official narratives. That's going to be strikes of false claims. The video sharing platform said in a series of tweets Thursday that due to the disturbing events of the day before, it would implement the new standards. Over the last month, we've removed thousands of videos, ask me, my channels too, of videos which spread misinformation claiming widespread voter fraud changed the result of 2020 election, including several videos President Trump posted to his channel. The statement continues. Did we all not see the suitcases coming out? Did we all not see? This is gaslighting. Okay? So, new policy is coming out with YouTube. That means more channels are going to be coming down. Okay, let's go to article number 2. So we heard today that Trump is banned from Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat. His Shopify channel's been taken down. They've all canceled Trump, okay? But now, a mainstream news channel, a network, official insists on cleansing Trump's influence from America. And so let me show you the second headline that goes with this. ABC News said yesterday, getting rid of Trump was the easy part. Cleansing America of his movement that he commands is something else. So we see what they're doing to Trump. Whatever you think about him, whether he's a pawn, whether you think he's a savior, whether you think he was falsely set up, whether you think he's in on it, they're using this as an excuse to go after true patriots, true people that love their country. They're using this to go after us. Okay? Getting rid of Trump out of the picture was easy. Finding the people that supported him is something else. Does this mean that they're going to go to the voter registrations and see who the Republicans are? How to get rid of them? Because wait till you see some of this information coming. This is all still under part number 2 with how they're coming for conservatives and patriots. This article is from yesterday. D.C. mayor had police lock Trump supporters inside their hotels. That's like kidnapping. That's like unlawful detention. It took a while to confirm this story since nobody else is covering it, but it's real. This seems unimaginable in America, but here we are. Do you remember when police were ordered to lock Antifa or Black Lives Matter protesters, aka violent domestic terrorists, in their hotels when they were burning down buildings and assaulting citizens, setting up Chaz or Chad, whatever they called it, extorting people for $10 every time they saw a black person, rape, robbing, pillaging, burning down police stations, looting stores, stealing everything? No. Why? Because that did not happen. But last night, reports were coming in that law enforcement in D.C. were ordered by the mayor to do just that. Mindy Robinson puts, "This is not getting media attention it deserves." Mayor Bowser had the D.C. Police Department physically lock Trump supporters in their hotels in D.C. last night. This was highly dangerous, unconstitutional, and has never been done during Antifa riots. Now wait, it's going to get more crazy what I'm going to show y'all. Biden fans the flames, labels Trump supporters domestic terrorist. Now, why is that dangerous? We've talked about NDAA, indefinite detention, that can hold terrorists for an indefinite amount of time with no official charges brought, nobody knowing your location where you're being detained. And I've done a video on the 72 groups that are considered domestic terrorists: Christians, Bible believers, people that believe in the rapture or the tribulation, people that believe in the Antichrist, homeschoolers, conservative gun owners. They're all called domestic terrorists. Well, now Biden labels Trump supporters domestic terrorists. And we've been talking about the COVID camps. Remember how they could come pick you up and put you in a COVID camp? Well, let me show you some more. This is still under point number 2. That they're coming after us like they did Trump. Capital punishment, capital riot, FBI hunting MAGA most wanted as Trump's role in inciting deadly rally is investigated. So now they're looking for the most wanted that were at this rally. People are already on an FBI list who they're going after. Now look at this guy right here, okay? Y'all remember him? Well, look at this. Looky. Remember we were talking about infiltrators? But yet now Trump people are all going to get caught up into this? Well, let's show that this was infiltrators. Before we look at it, let me just show y'all this headline from Gateway Pundit. FBI has already put together a list of MAGA most wanted from yesterday, considering adding President Trump. But y'all remember the man in the Viking horns? This is from the Liberty Daily. It's the conservative alternative to the Drudge Report. False flag confirmed. The Viking man who stormed the Capitol building previously was photographed at Black Lives Matter rally wearing the same outfit. Confirmed. Agitator interviewed by CNN who stormed the Capitol building is a radical leftist. But it's putting conservatives and patriots on the FBI most wanted list. Let's go to article number 3. Leftists are calling for radical legislation after Democrats' projected win. Remember I talked about now that the Democrats were going to go unchecked, they could pass however extreme LGBT legislation in the schools, how Nancy Pelosi opened up the first day of this congressional session with forbidding the usage of the word mom, dad, male, female, son, daughter. They could make that national. They could implement more taxes like they're wanting to, greenhouse taxes, the climate change, their Green New Deal. They could ban certain speech. They could increase taxes 50% if they wanted to support all of their entitlement programs. So this already says that they're gunning for their radical legislation. Let's go on to the next point under number 3. This is from yesterday. Mayor Bowser, the lady that locked people in the hotels, calls for legislation for D.C. to become a state. She's going to put it on the President of the United States desk the first 100 days. Now, why is this a bad idea? So this was 2016. 7 reasons why some D.C. residents are voting against statehood. Then it says, number 1, it's not efficient. Number 2, it's too expensive. Number 3, it's doomed in Congress. Says, but he also thinks it's never going to go anywhere as long as D.C. is a one-party town. Elected Republicans in the district would help the city's leaders lobby congressional Republicans to approve the matter, he says. It's very unlikely that D.C. would become a state without any elected Republicans on the council or in any other positions. Number 4, 5, and 6, it's unconstitutional because it would add 2 more senators. They would get 2 senators, 1 representative, and 3 electoral college votes in that small area. And they would want to change the name to Washington, D.C., meaning D.C. standing for Douglas Commonwealth. This article from Reader's Digest during the summer is, "This is why Washington, D.C. is not a state." And it just talks about it was not set up by the founding fathers to be a state, that it was supposed to be the governing seat of the nation with no other influence. So Mayor Bowser would become the governor of D.C. It says Washington, D.C. would gain a member of the House of Representatives and 2 new senators. The fact that those senators would likely be Democrat is a big reason why House and Senate Republicans oppose the statehood. The mayor, Muriel Bowser, will have the title of governor instead. So in short, statehood for D.C. would directly contradict the Constitution. But she's saying that she would put it on the desk within the first 100 days that she wants D.C. to become a state. It would elevate her political position. Let's look at the next point under point 3. So that's why it has not passed as of yet. But now that we'll have a Democratic House, a Democratic Senate, and a Democrat president and vice president, D.C. will probably become the 51st state, and there'll be 3 more Democrat electoral college votes and 2 more senators. So let's go to article number 4. This is from the BBC News 3 hours ago. China places 11 million people under lockdown after outbreak in northern city. The lockdowns are not going away anytime soon. Article number 5. Singapore police access COVID tracking app data for criminal investigations. So that little health app that they wanted everybody to download to be able to track where the virus was first contacted and who you came in contact with, now the police are using that app. In another instance where conspiracy theory becomes facts, a coronavirus tracking app in Singapore can now be used by the police to track citizens for criminal investigations, according to Channel News Asia. Haven't we been saying this had nothing to do with the health of people, but the policing of people? In June, Singapore rolled out a mandatory COVID-19 tracing program that would identify people who had come in contact with virus carriers. The private data is managed by the government's health department and stored on a server for 25 days. And didn't we say who would they sell this information to? Well, now it seems like the police are getting it. And indeed, it is the case in Singapore. About 80% of the country's 5.6 million people have downloaded Trace Together. The government told people that mass adoption of the app would allow the country to reduce social distancing restrictions. La, 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 huh? And now you're being tracked like criminals, just like we said was going to happen. Let's go to article number 6. This is from January 7th. The UK locked down cops to stop people in the street, issue fines, and target anti-lockdown and anti-vaccine protesters. Senior Scotland Yard officials have announced the adoption of a new hardline lockdown policy to stop and question people if they are out in the street, and to issue on-the-spot fines if they cannot provide a reasonable excuse for being out of their house. A reasonable excuse to be out of your house. Remember I told you I hate the word lockdown? It makes it sound like you're a prisoner. So it's like if the prisoner gets outside the fence, they about to get stopped. So if you, as a human being that God created, want to go outside and breathe the air that God created you to breathe, the police are going to shake you down like thugs and like the mafia. What are you doing outside? Can you believe? Where officers identify people without a lawful reason to be away from their home, they can expect officers to move more quickly to enforcement. Thrown into that black van with a bag over your head and taken somewhere for indefinite detention, huh? Can you believe? Let's go to article number 7. This is from Fox News 15 hours ago. UC San Diego places COVID-19 test kits in vending machines throughout campus. Does that sound like a good idea? Tests can be acquired from vending machines by swiping student ID. And how many people do you know have taken tests and put somebody else's name on it? Don't you see somebody might suspect they have the virus and they take the test and then want to set up their friend and put their friend's name on it? I see all. Did we see voter fraud? So what do you think is going to happen with this? And Article 7A is from January 6th. FDA approved coronavirus test hits Amazon Marketplace. Here's how much it costs. So they're selling the coronavirus test now on Amazon. The test, which has been authorized for use by both individuals with and without symptoms of the virus, comes at a price. While a single pack costs $110, a set of 10 tests will run consumers $1,000. It is a money-making racket. Well, let's go to article number 8. Before I want to show you all the headline, remember we talked about the liberal agenda and that I read an article a while back that we were now in a post-Christian society? Well, look at this cartoon in Denmark. Denmark launches children's TV show about a man with a giant penis for children. This is from January 6th, from The Guardian. Critics condemn idea of an animated series about a man who cannot control his penis. Wait, I thought Harvey Weinstein was already in prison. Oh, wait, no, this is the animation. I'm sorry. Critics condemn idea of an animated series about a man who cannot control his penis, but others have backed it. How outrageous, immoral, ungodly do you see our society getting when they are teaching kids about a man with out of control, gigantic penis? Little kids are going to want penis enlargers. Oh, mommy, make my penis bigger. Yee! John Dillerman has extraordinary penis. So ordinary, in fact. What was that porn star's name? Ron Jeremy, huh? John Dillerman has an extraordinary penis. So extraordinary, in fact, that it can perform rescue operations, etch murals, hoist a flag, and even steal ice cream from children. Not that he's Spider-Man and got arms that can reach. His penis is doing all of this. This is sick. This is deviant. The Danish equivalent of the BBC, DR, has a new animated series aimed at 4 to 8-year-olds about John Dillerman, the man with the world's longest penis, who overcomes hardships and challenges with his record-breaking genitals. Is this grooming kids to talk about men's genitals? Y'all, I see them legalizing worldwide pedophilia pretty soon. Let's go to article number 9. This is from January 7th. Washington extends public emergency until after the inauguration as New York sends in 1,000 National Guard members. So it's going to be on lockdown, a police state there, and they erected a 7-foot fence around the Capitol building. And let's see article number 2. Finally, a use for that old Sears building, a COVID-19 vaccination center. And don't that look like some empty Walmarts? And is that what Walmarts are going to be turned into? And if you don't want to go along, if you get scared and want to resist, or you take your mama, 87-year-old mama, and she's going to get the vax, but you don't want to take the vax, what are they going to do to you? The place where you used to get your family portrait, Levi jeans, and spark plugs is now attractive to health officials for its vast spaces, no weirder than anything else this year. So don't y'all see them open up the recently closed Walmarts for the same thing. Americans are heading back to Sears, but not to shop. Public health agencies and healthcare organizations from Iowa to Florida are using some of the hundreds of closed Sears department stores to help with the nationwide effort to administer the virus vaccines to millions of people. Vast floor plans, sprawling parking lots, and easy access to highways that attracted property developers and shoppers during the retailer's heyday are drawing the attention of health officials. The stores are well-known destinations and house enough space for workers and vaccine recipients to adhere to social distancing guidelines. Well, here we go. I'm going to bring it to your neighborhood. And let's talk about it now because our days are numbered. Y'all please leave me your comments below and let me know what you think. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.